Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode. We're working on Unit 2, Lessons 5 and 6. Our topic for today is How are you feeling? Let's get started. We're going to read for gist and detail. We're going to write an email, write a record of a conversation. As for speaking, we're going to explain feelings and how to deal with them. We will report good and bad news. As for vocabulary, we're going to learn the words grateful, empathy, and the expression, that's a pity. Now, as for values, we're going to be working on patience during the unit, along with issues such as preventive and therapeutic health, along with listening for gist and details, and for life skills, we're going to be working on empathy. Now, I'd like you to listen to 4 short conversations and put the photos in the correct order.
Hi, Yasser! Are you coming to football practice on Thursday? Oh, hello, Ali. No, I can't come this week. My granddad is in the hospital again. I have to look after my little brothers while my mom goes to visit him. I am sorry to hear that. I hope he gets better soon. It's a shame that you can't come. Maybe see you next Thursday then. Thanks, Ali. Hey, Ali, guess what? I'm in the football team. The coach told me after football practice last night. Well done, Yasser. That's great news. Hello, Selma. How are you? Great to see you. How is it going at your new school? Are you enjoying it? Hello, Hannah. Great to see you too. The new school is really hard. I don't know anyone, and I feel everyone is much more clever than me. I have to do hours of homework every night. That must be difficult. Don't worry. I'm sure you will get better, Salma. Things will get better. You were always the best student in our class. Hi, Huda. How are things? Hello, Hannah. Fine, thanks. I passed my English exam. Congratulations! I'm so happy for you. Everyone knows that's a really difficult exam.
Now let's put the pictures in the correct order. 1, B, 2, D, 3, A, and 4, C. Now, I'd like you to complete the expressions that Ali and Hannah used to respond to news with the words in the box. Listen again if you need to. Congratulations, done, gets better, happy, must be, news, pity, sorry, and worry. Sorry is already used for us. Let's check it together. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he blank soon. Now, what are we going to use in the space here? We're going to use gets better. So for number 1, the first blank is sorry. The second blank is gets better. Let's read number 2. It's a blank that you can't come. If you're disappointed at something, you're sad that it's not going to happen, you will say, it's a pity that you can't come. As for number 3, well, blank Yasser, that's great blank. Here, if I want to say something positive for someone, I might say, well done, Yasser, that's great news. Okay, number 4. That blank difficult. What do you think is difficult? That must be difficult, but don't worry, I'm sure things will get better with time. So we use must be if I'm sure about something. I'm guessing that something is difficult, I will say that must be difficult. But then I can say, don't worry, I'm sure things will get better with time. Worrying is a negative emotion that we sometimes feel, but it's okay, we have to feel it. It's part of being human. Number 5, Blank, I'm so blank for you. Everyone knows that's a really difficult exam. If you want to say well done to someone, but you can say a different expression, which is congratulations, I'm so happy for you. Now, let's read the life skills box. When you have empathy, you can imagine how other people feel. It's important to show empathy when your friends are sad or happy. Having empathy is a very important emotion that we should have as human beings to care for one another. Now, let's move on to exercise 3. Which of the expressions in exercise 2 are used to respond to good news? And which are used to respond to bad news? Let's look at the first expression. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he gets better soon. Now, if we look at number 1, we'll notice that we can say this when we hear bad news. What about number 2? It's a pity that you can't come. This can also be used when I am answering to bad news. What about number 3? Well done, Yasser. That's great news. Of course, we say this when we hear good news. Number 4. That must be difficult, but don't worry. I'm sure things will get better with time. We can also say that when we respond to bad news. As for number 5, congratulations, I'm so happy for you is used to respond to good news. So, for good news, we use numbers 3 and 5, and for bad news, we use numbers 1, 2, and 4. Now, we're going to jump to our speaking section. I need you to find a partner and take turns. One of you is going to be student A, the other is going to be student B. Think of 2 pieces of news, one good and one bad. And student A has to tell student B their piece of news. Now, for student B, they must use expressions from exercise 2. At the end of the conversation, start the next conversation with thanks, and what about your news? Now we're going to move on to lesson 6. We're going to read Inji's email to her friend Salma, and then we will answer questions. Hi, Salma. How are you? I hope you're enjoying your new school. We really miss you. I'm fine, but there is some bad news from school. Mrs. Tahani is leaving. She's such a good science teacher, and we're feeling very sad. I have some good news too. Guess what? My parents say I can go on the school trip to Amman. I'm very excited. There are many amazing places to visit there. The trip is in March and I can't wait. So what's your news? Write soon, Inji. Number 1, why doesn't Inji see Salma at school? You can always go back and search for hints on why Inji doesn't see Salma anymore at school. Of course, the answer is Salma is in a different new school now. Number 2, what isn't Inji happy about? What is something that Inji isn't happy about? So here we need to look for bad news. A good teacher is leaving the school. Her name is Mrs. Tahani. Number 3, what is Inji looking forward to? What is Inji looking forward to, or what is Inji excited about? Of course, she is excited about the school trip to Amman. So she's looking forward to the school trip to Amman. Now we're going to jump to our writing section. Complete the phrases below with words in the box. So the words we have are forward, going, guess, hello, miss, and see. So we will use those phrases in the email below. We can start our email by saying, Dear Inji, or Hi Inji, or Hello Inji. And then when we ask how someone is doing, we can say, How are you? Or how are things? Or how's it going? So number 2 is going. We can also say, How's life? When I'm introducing news, I can say, the news from me or us is that blank what? So we will say, guess what? If I want someone to guess or think what my news might be, I can ask them, guess what? If we want to talk about feelings, we can say I or we blank you. Of course, to show feelings, we can say I miss you for number 4. Or we can say I or we hope that you are blank. I'm so excited or sad because blank. Now let's move on to number 5, talking about the future. If you want to talk about the future, you can say I'm looking blank to show excitement about something. You can say I'm looking forward to, or I can't wait to blank. Now for the end phrase, you can say write soon or see you soon. Remember to use these phrases when you write an email. You can always go back to this page to take some ideas. Now we will move on to write an email to a friend in your notebook. Use these ideas. Ask him or her how he or she is feeling. Number 2, give some bad news or something that you're not happy about. And then give some good news, something that you are happy about. And then ask your friend to tell his or her news. Remember, you must use an end mark at the end of your sentence. You must use a question mark if you're writing a question. Your sentence must be capitalized at the beginning. And make sure you use commas between clauses of a sentence. And also use commas when we are listing things or items. Now, our exit slip of the day is think of good news and bad news. Write them both down in your notebook and share them with a family member. That's a wrap. This was Ms. Sara Vasyuni. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.